to Double Talk.
Double Talk.
I'm Mark Steffen right here on Channel 98.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to double talk you.
Oh, what, you want me to double?
The double,
you
know, just
what?
echo. I'm Michael Mandel. It says, oh, look, we have a menorah.
What is that? Where'd that come from? Are there any Jews in the house?
Well, yes. Oh. See, these guys never thought, you know, they never saw anybody who was Jewish, right? Except Meyer, maybe. No, we can't.
Sort of.
No, it'll turn the alarm on here if we light it. Many people are familiar with the festival of Hanukkah.
I'm not. What is it?
Well, you know, Hanukkah happened a long time ago, and then all the little Christian children got jealous because you got presents for every day of the Hanukkah festival.
You get 8 presents, right?
8 presents. Every day you get a different present.
Can I be a Jew?
We could see about that. Anybody got a knife?
Oh, I'm already cut.
Oh, okay. So that's part of it.
I'm well on my way.
You know, every year this happens. People say, Hanukkah, what do you know about Hanukkah? And you tell them the same thing. Hanukkah involves the dreidel.
Why does it involve the dreidel?
It involves didn't you learn this last year or the year before or the year before that?
Nobody learns.
Nobody ever learns. The Maccabees fought for like independence of their nation from the Romans.
Yes.
But they were subjugated to Roman law, and the Romans prevented them from learning Hebrew. They did Hebrew letters on this thing that's called a dreidel.
That's how they learned.
Or the top.
So they learned.
This one's made out of wood, but the Maccabees used to use plastic ones because they couldn't afford wood. Yeah, so they learned, and you spin it, and whatever it lands on.
Is that a Mexican money game?
Probably now it's a Mexican money game. Gimel, which means you win everything,
tool,
and you win half, you win money. It takes up a lot of time with children who pretty much spend most of their time arguing.
But when you play with the dreidel, please, no wagering.
There is wagering. Where's that stuff?
There is.
Where's those things I had here?
Where are you going?
Excuse me, I'm getting out of the... Did I give all the quarters away?
Well, now...
We're looking here.
Now, while Michael is talking about...
that.
Or not talking about it, Hanukkah
here we go.
is also
a
precursor to Christmas. So it precedes Christmas, doesn't it?
It, you know,
it came before Christmas was ever invented.
Actually, it didn't.
Really?
Yes, I was just kidding you.
No.
Yes, I was. First of all, we had Christmas. The event that occurred with Hanukkah was the Maccabees winning like one battle against the Romans. You know, eventually, of course, the Romans took over everything. But the miracle was that in the Hebrew religion, you always have one light that's always lit, the eternal flame. And
this light lights the other ones,
actually,
right?
this is the shamus, but it's symbolic. He thinks I'm not lighting this.
No, we can't light these.
No, it's too dangerous. We have insurance to pay. After the Maccabees won, they found the eternal light had gone out, and they used oil in those days because they didn't really have wax.
Yes.
So they had purified oil, but it would only last one day, and it would take 7 or 8 more days to purify more oil.
Yes.
But the flame has to always be on. So the one day of oil lasted the entire 8 days until the other oil could be purified enough to start putting it on a regular basis. So this symbolizes those 8 days. This symbolizes the fight for the ability to learn Hebrew. And so little kids, when they play dreidel, they use these little gold-wrapped chocolates. Because you know what? One thing you learn as a kid, it's a lot better to have chocolate than money.
Than not to have it.
Because money doesn't buy anything, especially when you have coins. But chocolate, you can eat.
But chocolate that looks like money.
They do. They look very much like money. And could you give me $1? I'll give you that.
I would gladly give you $1 on Tuesday for a chocolate
for a hamburger today. So
John F. Kennedy.
Today is the last night of Hanukkah. You start with the first night. Very nice.
Chocolate dreidel.
You light your first candle starting there, and you add a candle every night. So tonight would be the last night. You start lighting on this side, and you light them all. And these candles...
Well, tonight would be the final night, huh?
It is, because it's Saturday.
I see.
Or as we say in the Ashkenazi dialect, Shabbos.
Shabbos.
In the Sephardic, it's Shabbat.
But then what happens on Sunday?
On Sunday, we go back.
You sleep in?
No, we start buying our Christmas presents.
for next year.
Yeah, well, I think, the real story is, of course, Christmas was around, and it comes around usually around December 25th.
Usually.
Or the winter solstice.
Yes, that's true.
And,
yes, well, they stole that from the pagans.
Which is they didn't steal it.
They just
renamed it. And since Christian children always got gifts, unless you were like, Mormon or something like that.
Or Muslim.
Or whatever. Anyway, we took something that already happened, because the Jews have been around for so long that things were always happening to us anyway. You just pick something up, and that was a good thing to pick up. We turned it into a fun holiday. And one of the good things
about... Fun holiday. Aren't all your holidays fun?
Oh, yeah. Yom Kippur, where you fast. You have a lot of fun doing that. Rosh Hashanah, where you stay in the temple all day long and
What's
pray.
The matter with your holidays here?
We have very tough holidays to get through. Passover, you have to eat.
You have to eat. Well, what's wrong with that?
Hanukkah, you have fried foods symbolizing the oil that was used in the lamp.
I see.
And therefore you have
cholesterol.
Potato latkes, which I believe in Eastern Europe around the time these things were getting together, all you could eat was potatoes, because that's all you had to eat.
What they had. So it's kind of like Ireland.
Ireland, yes, except during the Irish famine.
So,
the potato famine.
So that having been said,
we're not going to light these.
We're going to move on.
Happy Hanukkah.
Yes. Now,
yes,
we have one thing to celebrate. There you go. These kids love this stuff. And besides Hanukkah to celebrate, we have to celebrate Las Cruces High School winning the state championship in football.
Yes.
And
that's a picture of. Oh, that's good.
Well, blue. Blue is our color. And blue and crimson is the color of Las Cruces.
You went to Las Cruces High School.
I went to Las Cruces High School. Go Bulldogs! Bulldogs this year won the state championship in football.
For the 7th time.
Congratulations,
which is a lot
Bulldogs.
of times.
Go Dogs!
Thank goodness, Las Cruces High School is the first high school in this town.
Yes.
And all the others are just extras.
By the way, when I went to high school, they spelled Bulldog that way. Now it's D-A-W-G.
D-A-W-G.
Now they're dogs. Before we were dogs, not dogs.
Dogs.
Dogs. So go Bulldogs. Good job, guys.
All these foreigners who came in, dog.
So Las Cruces not only had state champs in football, we have a world champ in boxing.
Is that the day after Christmas? Boxing Day?
Boxing Day? No, that's British.
Oh, that's British.
Austin Trout.
What's that a picture of? Multiple colors.
That's Austin Trout, world champion in his weight division. He won the belts.
Bantamweight?
Last weight.
Was it bantam or welter?
Welterweight.
Welterweight.
I'm not that familiar with my weight because I'm not that.
You weren't in Golden Gloves, even though he went to your school.
Anyway, Austin Trout. It's a good thing he was named after a fish that wasn't that like a dogfish or
like rainbow.
Angelfish.
His first name would be Rainbow, or
he's named after a Texan fish, Austin Trout. So congratulations, Austin. We talked about him last week.
Yes,
because that's what
there was a party last week.
It was current last week. Yeah. This week though, today in fact,
right now,
there's a parade going on for him at 2:00 down on.
Starts at Sierra
Middle School.
Yes.
Goes
and
down
it
Walnut.
will go down Walnut and take a left
on Hadley,
right to Powell.
Takes to the police.
Stop lifting.
Police Athletic
League. You got
where he got his start.
Mouth.
He got his first start there at the Police Athletic League here in Las Cruces.
I think he still practices there.
And now he's a mentor to all the boxers down there. So.
And it's quite a big thing to fight in Madison Square Garden. I've done that many times.
Exactly, especially because he had no friends there. He was fighting against the guy from Puerto Rico, and all of his fans were there. They filled Madison Square Garden, so he walked in alone and came out a victor.
Well, he had to fight his way out.
He did.
That was pretty good.
So,
it was amazing.
Wonderful thing. Now,
yes,
another fight we have going on around the town is the.
You have that brochure?
It's the proposed Organ Mountains Desert Peaks National Monument.
Hey, what's that a picture of?
That's the Organ Mountains.
Wow, it looks
Desert
familiar.
Peaks.
Desert Peaks, I think, are on the other side.
So, there have been 3 proposals to designate national monuments to wilderness lands around New Mexico. The Organ Mountains, the Potrillo Mountains, the Doñana Mountains, the Robledo Mountains, and other areas within that region.
Do you think things like this get dentists really excited? Because it looks like, wow, there's a lot of cavities to fill there.
Oh, no, I don't think they do.
So what were you going to say before I cut you off?
But it hasn't been approved yet. they're hoping that President Obama will designate these wilderness areas as such, and which will preserve them as a national monument, and which they're thinking will bring in tourism, bring in people to move here, because they know those outdoor lovers will take advantage of these outdoor areas for camping, hiking, bird watching, outdoor vista watching, etc.
Where'd you hear all this?
I get around.
Around the mountains, huh?
And
well, you
yes,
know,
and actually, this is the official brochure I picked up.
One would say, why don't people want this to be designated, a national monument?
Why wouldn't they?
And I think the answer is our friend Steve Pierce, who is often on this program. Okay, on the station. Maybe he was on the station once.
10 times.
He would say there is valuable things to be mined there, or there are valuable places to grow your cows, or goats, or hogs in that area. But there's so much area. The government makes it so that you could get licenses to do things on the area. It's just that the federal government is a lot stronger than state government, and a lot less wishy-washy and subject to financial interests than state.
Well, people are saying that if they close off these lands to a national monument, then that'll prevent the Border Patrol from pursuing people into these areas, because no motorized vehicles will be allowed. Well, they already work on horseback as it is, and I'm sure if they're in pursuit of people, they can use ATVs and other vehicles too, if they need to. That's not going to be a problem. The one problem I did have when I asked the question on Thursday at the meeting that they had, I grew up here. I was an avid camper and hiker in almost all of these regions, and I'm curious that once these lands once they designate them national monuments, how will that change their availability for all of us? Aren't they available to us all now?
Well, did you ask that question?
I did.
Well, I believe that the reason it's the same as federal lands now, that you can go camp on.
You can go out on them now. If they make them into a certain designation, we'll still be able to go on them, or will we? We don't know yet.
Or will we? I think if you probably stayed to the end of that talk, you would have found out.
I did say, if we don't, they could not answer my question.
Well, we could get somebody here perhaps next week that can answer our questions. Apparently, some people do know the whole thing, because they've been working with SWEC, Southwest Environmental Center, and other groups to get this, to happen. Because luckily, if we don't have enough things to fight about with the fiscal cliff and rich people versus poor people, we can fight about the most mundane of things, which is land.
Listen, the main thing that they were pushing for the reason to designate all these lands as protected national monument areas is because it will bring in revenue to this area. People who want those kinds of things, they want to access these regions, will move here or come here to vacation. And so it's a monetary thing.
It makes the town better for people who like good environment
and
and natural stuff, as opposed to people who like fracking.
Yes, but isn't there another reason to do it? Just
to save the
beyond money
land for the future?
Well, the land is already there.
Yes, but it could be overwhelmed. We could be putting water parks all over the place.
Well, right now, much of that land is being grazed with cattle.
Yes.
Because ranchers get leases from the Bureau of Land Management.
Which is a federal organization which will possibly continue to give them leases to graze their cattle.
Right. They could still probably do that. But
yes,
a development will not be allowed on these lands.
Good.
No housing.
No housing. We already
no
have
roads.
Housing.
No paved roads anyway.
Right, which there aren't that many.
And limited, and actually even no dirt roads.
No dirt roads. Well,
it'll be accessed by horseback and foot only.
We'll see if we can get somebody next week to further.
Don't count on it.
Let's take a break.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back after these.
We'll eat our Hanukkah gelt.
Let me see this. How does this work?
Welcome to La Buena Vida Women's Club, located away from the crowds but close to home. Come in throughout the day for Jazzercise, the world's dance fitness leader for nearly 40 years. Treat yourself to a relaxing massage, or unwind in the lounge area or outside on the balcony with friends. La Buena Vida Women's Club, located and designed with women in mind. For information, call Diane at 650-9721.
Hey, you, come here. Do you want to know the news? The Lost Cruises channel is now on 7 days a week. So keep it right here.
Fiesta Motors. Come and see us today and discover why our service is second to none. In business for over 17 years, we have the right car for you. When you buy a vehicle from Fiesta Motors, we do everything possible to ensure your satisfaction. Located at the corner of El Paseo and Main. See you there. Celebrate Fiesta Motors, where buying a car is always a celebration.
And we're back to Double Talk. What a cacophony of activity we have here in the studio.
We have wild times.
Friends dropping in that we haven't
seen
in a long time.
Intermission shows of what happens during our intermissions.
Yeah, if only
it's
we
like
had
an intermission.
That's what, you know, a lot of TV shows, if you go to the internet, you can see what happens off camera or after the show. We should do that here because people would not believe what goes on in this studio.
I barely got my shirt back on.
That's true.
Yes. So anyway, we're still doing a show. We have we finished talking about Wilderness Beach.
We're all done with that
because we don't know that much. Somebody's going to read about it. Did you want your chocolate?
I'll have that later.
It's still Hanukkah even after the break.
That's true. Now, you know, we've had a lot of violence going on. It's sad but true. It seems to culminate toward the holiday season.
You know, it's true.
You know, we had that mall shooter in Oregon this week who went into a mall with a semi-automatic rifle.
People like doing that.
And started mowing people down.
And apparently he was a very nice guy. He was good humor. He had an ex-girlfriend. He was doing things. I think he screwed up in college, and he sold a lot of stuff. And he was planning on, he had a plane ticket to go to Hawaii. And what happened was he got drunk and missed his flight. And
went crazy.
He borrowed. Of course, I don't think he wore a hat like that.
No, he put on a ski mask is what he did.
Yeah.
One of those hockey masks.
Yes, so just so he wouldn't be recognized because he was planning on shooting himself anyway, I'm sure.
He also had ballistic armor on.
Yeah, because he was planning on shooting himself anyway. Yeah. Why would you wear a ballistic armor if
you want to die anyway?
Shooting yourself?
Well,
either that or, you know, we should project what goes on in somebody's mind. He's mad at the festive season, right? The mall is your basic
place. People do get depressed at the holidays.
They do.
They do.
Well, people are depressed all the time, but the fact that you're forced to be happy during the holidays makes it a great contrast.
No, nobody forces you to be happy.
You better be happy. Look at this shirt you wore. It's so depressing. I'm so depressed. It's dark green.
It's holiday green. Now,
it's loaded.
There was also another shooter this summer. He went into a movie theater and mowed down a whole bunch of people.
That was during what, the vampire series thing?
No, it was the Batman movie.
The Batman, that's right.
Now, the thing is, people are saying, well, with all these shooters on the rampage, maybe we should all have concealed guns that we could carry, get the permit.
Great idea.
Well, the guy who did the movie theater shooting, in a 10-mile radius of where he lived, there were 7 theaters showing the Batman movie, and only 1 prohibited guns in that theater, and that's the theater he chose, knowing that nobody could shoot back at him.
Really?
Yes. And now Illinois is trying to get the concealed carry permit available in the state for the first time ever. So I hope they're able to do it.
Do you know of any other maniac serial killers who to have the foresight to go places that have no carry things? Did that mall have a no carry?
They had a sign that said no guns allowed. There's certain places around town that don't allow you to carry a concealed weapon.
Usually like
even
a
if you
bar,
have the permit.
Like a bar.
A bar, certainly. Some banks. So any business can say, no guns allowed. Okay, that's the policy. This movie theater had the same policy. So he knew that nobody there would have a gun. I was pretty sure anyway.
He probably ended up shooting himself anyway.
And no, he's arrested.
He was arrested?
He's going to prison.
So there's just so many murders around that I can't keep
We had a kid in Oñate High School this week who came to school with a handgun because he was...
That's true. He was being threatened.
He claims he was in fear of his life from a gang member.
Yes.
So, but the schools...
He claims that.
The schools here have a no gun policy. Of course, he's suspended and will probably go to juvenile school for the rest of his high school career. Right. Now, Las Cruces have said that armed robbery is up in Las Cruces.
Yeah.
Stores are being knocked off. Apparently, they seem to like the head shops.
The places that sell
shops.
Smoke shops and places where they sell products that you can have indoor gardens.
Well, smoking devices, tobacco, rolling papers.
Places to plant your own
bongs, what have you.
Vegetation.
Legal items, of course, but these places seem to get ripped off more frequently than some others.
I think perhaps the people who rip them off are more familiar with these places. They don't have to case the joint because they're casing the joint all the time.
Maybe they're regular customers and they know how much money there is.
Yeah, if you sidle into a bank and have no business there, people might start to recognize you.
That's true.
Also, there's more cameras, I think, in banks.
That's true. That's true. So, head shops, get some cameras going. Now, another holdup we have going on in the state of New Mexico is the spaceport business.
Is that bigger? Is that a bigger holdup?
I think so.
I mean, they're pulling out $250,000, where these people who hold up head shops are getting what? Luckily, a couple hundred bucks.
But Richard Branson, as it turns out, never had a lease agreement with the state of New Mexico to be although he's supposedly the head tenant.
He sort of has an agreement.
He doesn't.
A gentleman's agreement. And of course, we know that the concept of gentleman comes from England. And Richard Branson comes from England.
Yes, well, business is business, and so who knows what's going to happen. He's already trying to get people in Saudi Arabia to build a spaceport for him.
Well, one of the problems with the spaceport here, and that's him trying to do a portable flying machine that's going to lift him up. I think you attach it to your shoulders and then you go fly. Of course, there's a lot of exhaust. But the problem with him is our insurance rules about the fact that people won't have a limited liability thing here, and it's part of the legislators go to the session in January and February. Hopefully, they will vote to enable this to occur.
Give us some insurance or not? No, or these people have to sign waivers anyway.
Yeah, to go on. Well, you spend $200,000, you
put your life in his hands.
If you died, do you get your money back?
Of course not.
No.
But if a rocket went haywire and landed on Interstate 25 and took out 3 school buses and a semi.
So you should be limited to like maybe $15,000.
Those people don't get any
$15,000 cap.
That's it, huh?
That's it. Yeah.
Really? You've chosen $15,000 as your
price? I think
price?
15 is good,
Okay.
It's better than the guy who got $22 million for being locked up for 22 months. But we talked about that. You remember that one?
Down at the Munson Center, they're having all kinds of problems.
Really?
Yes.
We go from the spaceport, which is a beautiful building.
You said exhaust.
I'm getting
exhausted. At the Munson Center, they have toxic gas.
Exhausted.
Same thing, toxic gas at the Munson Center. No, it wasn't Uncle Harold and his gas problems. Some carbon monoxide.
Did they have a city hall? The city councilors meet there?
Well, they should. But Munson Center had a lot of problems. They've been cutting back the budget on them. A lot of programs that they've had there have been cut by the city manager, and a lot of the seniors who attend there are mad.
Because they're seniors.
They're always
something
mad.
To crab about.
No.
And the door's sticking.
They used to have things that they don't have now, so of course they're mad.
Well, you mean like youth? Is that what they?
To say youth is wasted on the young.
That's true. But that's the theory, that you should live and have fun from 18 to maybe 35, and then go to work.
Then become a Republican.
Yeah, that's it.
But here's one thing. Maybe those people at the Munson Center don't have a bucket list.
How'd we get on that already?
Well, we need a bucket list.
Do you know what the toxic gas was, though?
What?
Carbon monoxide, which is pretty much what. No, you didn't. You said toxic gas.
I said carbon monoxide.
I don't remember.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Call us in and let us know.
Speaking of bucket lists, the Las Cruces Sun News Pulse this week put out 10 things to do in the Mesilla Valley before the end of the world, which, by the way, is supposed to happen on the 21st.
21st. So those are, of course, it's all been negated.
And you know what?
It's an interesting thing.
Sorry, Monica, but who wrote this article. But this is about the lamest list I've ever seen. Starting with number 1.
But we should mention a bucket list is something that's a list of the most important things you'd like to see, like
before you die.
Like to go to a opium den in Singapore,
or to skydive naked, whatever it is. Your bucket list, the 10 things you want to do before you die. Here before the end of the world. Number 1, visit Mesilla Plaza. That's on the bucket list.
I did that already. I did that.
Done that.
I've done that.
Check that off. We have a picture of this
plaza.
Where is that? Let's move on.
Okay.
Number 2,
What's that? We're going back to the beginning of the show.
Yeah, we're going back. Number 2.
That's a menorah.
Well,
is that on the list?
No.
Light a menorah?
Light a menorah. There's a
That's one of your bucket lists?
Number 2, speaking of Messia, visit with Sonny of Messia. Excuse me. Wow, Sonny Campos, the unofficial greeter of Messia. That's on the bucket list.
He's a greeter.
Visit with him.
He's a greeter. Right?
You know,
what does he do? Go around and shake people's hands?
He's also Jewish.
Campos? Yeah, old Jewish name.
Also, the third one, visit White Sands Monument before you die. You want to go there.
Right.
That's right.
Or pick a nice plot out there. There's a couple people buried there. White Sands, as long as you're here, you might as well go to White Sands.
Yeah. Number 4.
Name one person who hasn't done that.
Visit the Chili Pepper Institute at NMSU. That's on the bucket list.
Actually, we've never done.
I've been there.
Didn't we do a show there?
No,
we did a show there.
We talked to the Chili Lady.
In the office.
I've been to the Chili Lady many times. The Chili Institute many times. Okay, next.
Yeah.
Visit Koa's bookstore.
Really? Really?
These are things that everybody does anyway.
That's the thing. I guess if, there's a lot of new people moving into the city.
I guess.
The town that's turning it into a city. And there's a lot of things that, most of the people are out. I'm pushing towards, that's the direction of Sonoma Ranch, depending on how you have your television situated.
No, it's that way.
No, it's that way.
It depends.
Well, anyway, Sonoma, people moving in from outside of town, really, they don't even know where downtown is. In fact, most people go around there think it's the warehouse district. Because when you go around, before they opened it up with the...
Well, now the Main Street is open.
Main Street,
it's not a problem.
It's going 15 miles an hour. Everybody thought it was the warehouse district.
But on Saturdays, when Main Street is closed because of the farmer's market...
you got to go around.
You go to number 6, which is visit the farmer's market.
The farmer's market, Wednesday and Saturday morning.
That's true. So Saturday morning, we're in the top 10 of best farmer's markets in the world.
I always call it the flea market, and people get mad.
Yeah, don't call it that, please. They don't have any fleas.
Start itching.
Okay.
What's next?
Their 7th one.
We have to get through this.
Look at the stars. By that they mean go to the Tombaugh Observatory on NMSU, which is free. They have
and they often
on Friday nights
stargazing,
and you can look at galaxies.
We have more stars here than in most places,
Do we?
Yeah, we do.
Well,
because it's a desert and we don't have a lot of trees.
Let's see some stars. Show us some stars.
Let's see what stars look like. I'll show you what stars look like.
Look, it's a galaxy.
Wow. I think it looks like a peptic ulcer.
Okay, also, hike Baylor Pass. That's another one.
What are we down to? Oh, do that, Baylor Pass.
And then eat green chili.
Always eat green chili. I found when you come here, they say eat green chili.
And visit wineries.
You ignore red chili, but red chili is very good.
And visit wineries. We're out of time, Mike.
We're out of time.
We got to go do our bucket list. Thanks for watching. We'll be here next week.
Happy Hanukkah. And, he tells us we're going to leave. We're not going to leave. We'll stay for a while. I'll do a prayer now.
Let's light these, shall we?